Now, I can understand that a lot of brands shy back from this because it's a very complex process. I mean, you need expertise like you have to solve this riddle, this issue. And I have somebody, a friend of mine, she's selling heavy furnitures, and exactly the problem, not going internationally while there's a big market waiting out there because of these complexities that are behind. Now, for a brand, if they think selling internationally with these products, what's the first step to get started?
I think some general research around their particular product or product categories and the destination countries. For example, if you're selling electronics, you have different in voltages in different countries, power outlets and things like that. That would be the first thing to tackle. We have American brands that provide adapters, for example, with their international shipments, but we also run into products that require completely new, electronics, right? So it's a 110-volt thing that just doesn't work. You cannot just downgrade, step down from 220 volt with a adapter. It requires a complete rework and it becomes a separate product. So that would be an extreme case of, okay, you just can't sell your current product. There are, if you're selling items that have some kind of a brand licensing, a good place to look is, do you have the authority to sell that product in that country? You may have Disney licensing, for example, in UK, which may not extend to Europe or may not extend to United States. So you want to make sure basically you can sell your product for IP restrictions, trademarks, and so on and so forth. And there's also, compliance, right? So different countries have different compliance rules. There is, the more sort of niche and technical the product, the more this may be relevant. Furniture, as an example, generally is a pretty easy thing to ship internationally. Regulations pretty standard. US and Europe have standards around how flammable something can be, but those generally are pretty standardized versus, let's say cosmetics, which may require registration locally and, might have different standards. So I would definitely start with some kind of research to understand, can you actually sell your product in other countries and which countries are those? So you may be able to sell one product in one country, another product in another country. Our solution actually allows you to customize and say, I want these products enabled for this country, or, I want to block this particular product in this country for, whatever reason. And that's definitely where I would start.